Peace be upon all our fellow human beings.
Wait, that was not perfect.
Peace be upon all our beloved brothers and sisters.
That's better.
To begin with, when I sight a photography, questions pop in my head. What made her click this shot? Is she that passionate? Is editing a way of perfecting the picture, or wasn't the original photo not worth it? Or is it the vibe that it will not please the people but letting her emotions get edited with the flow? All in all, I'm a curious person, so I would love to know if you would love to know your future.
When I batted my eyelashes, trying to adjust my eyes to the light, disturbed was I as I could bath right and rest for the day. My previous thoughts of me having landed in a safe haven had left me moments back. At last, when my eyes were dripping close, I could feel a breath fanning over my face, only to see someone twice my size and I had never seen before. My immediate response was to cry because I knew I needed my mom now. She patted me, trying to console me. I ended up frightened and quiet. Will you love your father or mother more? She asks. What shall I say? How about my mother? I was confused. I had enjoyed my time in her belly, used to kick flies when I enjoyed her chores. When I used to drain her energy, she falls asleep exhausted. Bored without a company is when I heard a man sing lullabies in a soft tone, not wanting to awake my mom. Feeling his hand on her tummy, I would kick flies from beneath. He inquires about my well-being and asks whether I know him unknown to him. Mom's stories had gotten me excited to meet him, and I had long back started to love him. You look more like your father, says a woman I don't know. Is it important? Let's see when I get old. I mused. Would you love to know a baby's future, people?
She enters into the class blushing as she feels his heart stare, allowing her gaze to fall on his face only to bow down her head with shyness, building a castle with a man in her fairy tale in search of her treasures. She crossed boundaries selflessly when it was elsewhere. Hurting at the end is when the realization hit her that unknowingly she had let him rule a tale that had not begun in the first place. Oh, ladybug, immersed in heartbreak, is this an option you would allow yourself to choose when you know there's your man in another land fixing his heart for you? Would you love to know your future, women?
Something he had started as a distraction to get away from all his worldly connections. With every passing day, he could only find one way. Every time he snorted the heroine, his surroundings faded away. Someone for whom happiness was written exclusively in his fate had dodged it, because he was scared of anxiety and heartache. Your vision is blurred. Don't sink in your sadness, which you may eventually fall in love with, while you have people who had always been in love with you. These temporary reliefs is not what you deserve, young soul. There is happiness in store for you, if only you knew. I would love to know if you would love to know your future.
Then there is this man walking through the passageway, loosening his style, letting out a frustrated sigh, folding his sleeves, thinking how to break this news to his mom. As he could already see the upcoming storm, cause this is the 20th company he got rejected from. About to knock the door, preparing his mind to let out the truth, the passion he held for the worlds of art, a strong desire to unveil his unspoken jumbled thoughts through handiworks of paints and art. With twinkling eyes, he faced his mom. How was your interview, my honeycomb? His silence gave her her answer. She waited seconds, blabbering all that came to her mouth of how he was not as good as her neighbor's son, how unworthy he was, and like always, His thoughts were once again buried deep into her hole. Confused, hopeless, and depressed was his soul, letting his heart believe whatever his mom was saying, whether it was comparing him or sickening. Would you love to know his future, mother?
Every time a child in need comes by his way, gentleman, he's too afraid to give away a penny, thinking maybe, just maybe, rupees 1 billion minus 1 equals 0. It was the pain in her heart meant to be relieved, and her empty belly to be filled in the prayer for him to gain billions. But he decided to think twice, so I would love to know if you would love to know your future, gentleman.
Losing someone close is never easy on any soul. People out of place and deep in grief mourning. He is drowning in the depths of an open sea, waves hiding him, the birds flying high above the sea. Raw pain, not letting him see beyond his grief, sinking in his precious memories. No, nothing can console his being, 'cause it's harder for him to breathe as he sinks deeper into the sea. But just so you know, heaven missed them so much, and it was time for them to go back home. So be easy on yourself, 'cause with hardship comes ease. Let our prayers always be with them, and may they rest in peace. So, is it fair for me to ask, would you love to know your future now?
Me and you plan future like we write our own tale. Still the future appears bleak, and we are stuck in the present regretting our past mistakes. You learn, you adapt, you change, and you grow, and it's hard when you don't know. And we wish we could pause time, but time is meant to be played lifelong. Would you love to know your future? We ask. But it's veiled from you for a reason Lord knows best. And indeed, Lord knows best.